Welcome to Fight Fans Chit Chat. I'm waiting for this one. I am so excited for this one. Obviously, we talked about it the first time. I thought he was going to win. You know I'm a fanboy. It is a fan channel. Stop being a bitch about it. It is a fan channel, alright? So we're out there. Dillian Whyte. I am so fucking excited for this man to make the redemption. What do you reckon?
I'm excited. I want Dillian to win. But you got to admit, you're a bit scared.
Fuck off.
I'm a bit scared though. I think he will win. He had Povetkin gone.
Yeah.
In that fourth round, he had him down twice, and he was dominating him, digging him to the body, and he just got caught. But I'm shitting myself because I want him to win so bad.
Oh well,
but
my heart fell out my ass when he hit the deck. I was so upset. But I think I'm gonna put a bet on it. Openly admit it. I'm gonna put a bet on it. Dillian Whyte, I reckon he comes back with a comeback. I don't think it's gonna happen as quickly. And the one thing I will admit that I am terrified about is that if any of those demons are there, and maybe he will hold back, because fuck me, you had him over twice, so just fucking put it on him. And I really don't want him to have any kind of bits where he holds back. And also, I've got to throw it in there. Tibbsy wouldn't have let him hold back. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
No, but I know it sounds silly, but I don't think him being more reserved is the worst thing in the world.
You think?
No, I don't, because I think if he just keeps him on the end of the jab, and pots him, you got to think Povetkin's like 40 now, 41.
Yeah.
He's had COVID since the first fight. It's been a long time. He's only going to get worse like the longer the fight's been delayed, because obviously it was supposed to be in November. The first fight was in August last year. Then they've got scheduled for November, cancelled. Then scheduled for January the 30th, cancelled. Now it's like now. Yeah. So that's going to benefit Dillian Whyte. March. And then but so I think Povetkin will fade the longer it goes. And the funny thing is, what's really weird is like, if you watch the first 4 rounds of the first fight, so like Dillian Whyte was doing everything, digging him to the body, wearing him down, and Povetkin was slowing down, and he was getting frustrated in his corner. His corner like going to pull you out. Yeah. So he was doing everything fine. That's what worries me. Yeah. Because everything I'm like, to win the rematch and just do this, but then he done that and he got caught. Yeah. So it's like, in your opinion, don't be biased as a Dillian Whyte fan, was it a lucky punch or was it?
No, I don't think it was a lucky punch. I think it was a calculated punch. I do think it was a bit like a Hail Mary. I think it was kind of like that was his like last like fucking go, because he was going to be gone that round. He was going to, if he'd gone to the 6th, he wouldn't have come out for the 6th. I don't think if it had carried on the way it was going, he would have retired on his stall if he didn't end up on the floor. Yeah. So I do think it was a bit of a Hail Mary, but it hit. So he's got that vulnerability. So it hit. Do I think he'll carry that into this fight? Do you think he'll be vulnerable to a punch?
No, I don't think. One thing I'll say about Dillian Whyte, like watching him in interviews, seeing him in the fights he's been in, I don't think he'll have demons. I think he's got like the terrific mindset I think every boxer should have. It's a fight. Like, who gives a fuck? He won't think like, if I get caught again, he'll be like, who gives a fuck? It's a fight. Like, that happens. And I think that is a great mindset to have if you're going to a rematch if someone's knocked you out. Because it's like, so I think he will win. I'm going to be shitting my pants. I'll have sweaty palms. But I think everything, if you look at it like form, he was dominating him in that first fight. He was too big, too strong, and he boxed really well. Like he was catching his blocks, and I think what it was, where he had him over like twice in the 4th, he just got a bit lax in that 5th, and he let him come in that little too much into the pocket and just threw a lazy jab. Where if you watch the other 4 rounds, every time Povetkin come in, he just covered up, moved out of distance. But where he had him over 4 rounds, he saw Povetkin get frustrated. He just thought, next time I catch him, he's gonna go. And then soon as he came in, he just threw a lazy jab and just stood there thinking nothing's come, bang. And it's the ones you don't. And the thing is, if he is a bit wary of it, it might do him good, because it's the punches you don't think are gonna come in gonna do the damage. Where now, where he's wary of it, even if he does get caught, he's expecting it, so he'll be able to ride it. He's got a great chin, Dillian Whyte. If anyone says he ain't, he's got a fucking well good chin.
Him and Chisora went toe for fucking toe for 12 rounds.
He should, and the thing is, I am going to be shitting myself, but he should win. I want him to win desperately, and I think it will be a destructive performance.
And I think people are weighing in too much about this like knockout thing. Like, obviously you get knocked out once, maybe you were susceptible to getting knocked out before, but you got to think about the way he came back from AJ, and you got to think about the man. The man had like 8 or 9 amateur fights. Yeah, no. And then for AJ in his fucking 12th fight, or maybe it was AJ's 12th fight. Obviously got knocked out from there and then come back from there, and it was top 10, top 10, top 10, top 10. He has fought the elite of the fucking elite, as much as people might say, like, obviously, unfortunately, every fan that thinks any fighter outside the UK is shit. But ultimately, they're top 10, and he's fought the worst of the worst to make his way back. So, is he really going to be scared about a knockout? I don't think so. Am I a little bit worried that maybe his training team are going to maybe focus on the knockout a bit too much?
Yeah.
Which will scare me a bit, when I think he should go the other way, and I think he should just go brutal violence, and I think he should do what he did to Parker. He bullied Parker. He fucking pushed Parker about. He bent him over the ropes, and he knocked him like fucking pillar to post. Obviously, he got done by just fucking falling over out of exhaustion. But
But see, to be fair, like, that's one thing I disagree with you, like, on this fight, is I think he wins with the jab. I think if he just keeps that jab, just keep, but like, don't just pull with it, ram it. Every time you ram the jab in the belly, in the head. And the thing is, one good sign I am happy about, so obviously he's got that new trainer with him. I can't remember his name.
Harold Shadow Knight.
Yeah. And he was with Lennox Lewis. And he was all like known for perfecting that Lennox Lewis jab. So if you're getting someone like that in, that makes me think the jab's going to be important. And that makes me feel, okay, I feel good about that.
His jab has got better every fight.
He got one of the best. I'll say Dillian Whyte probably got one of the best jabs in the heavyweight division. Him and Fury. And he's got freakishly long arms.
Yeah. You could also say Dubois as well in that concept. Obviously, Dubois got fucked up. Still, yeah, I do think Dillian Whyte will come back strong. I think he'll come back more brutal than ever. I think he'll come back more violent than ever. I think he'll come back more professional than ever. Because I think that was a very like Olympian, noticing a weakness and then waiting for every round, waiting for it to happen, and then finally it just landed. So I think he'll come back in a very, to be fair, maybe you're right, because it will come back to a more like tactical fight. So I think Dillian Whyte always ends up, at some point, he comes in with a good plan, but at some point it always comes back to the fact that how Dillian Whyte is. And that's what kind of gets him through fights, especially when he's knackered. Because when he's like, because ultimately there's many fights where Dillian Whyte just gasses. But it all comes down to the fact that how hard he is, and he just kind of stays in. Yeah. So that's the only thing that does. Maybe it will be a more tactical fight, because obviously Povetkin's still an Olympian, still tactical, still experienced, still waiting for you to make a mistake. And unfortunately, he can spark you in one punch if he does land. So maybe it will be a bit tactical, but I'm still going to go Dillian Whyte early. I reckon 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go for it. I think Dillian Whyte does it. Yeah,
if I have to make a prediction now, I'd say Dillian Whyte 7 to 9. I reckon he pumps him with a jab, works the body, and Povetkin gets slower and slower and slower, more frustrated, and he's just going to be there for the taking. And the thing is, what you got to think as well is, obviously, Povetkin giving Whyte the rematch. I know he had the rematch clause, but he could have just walked away. But he must be getting paid fuckloads to come back and fight Whyte.
Massive.
And the age he is, you're thinking Povetkin as well. So you're thinking about heavyweight champions of the world. So if you want to fight for the heavyweight title, it's Fury and AJ. So they're going to sign up for a 2-fight deal. So it's going to be a while before you fight for a title. So Povetkin might be seeing this as like, I'm getting that much money.
That's true.
Do I need? I ain't going to.
He's 22, isn't it? You're waiting until at least.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm waiting, and he might be like, if he gets caught, and the thing is, no matter who you are, if you fight Dillian Whyte, it ain't going to be an easy night. No. It's going to be fucking rough.
He's too brutal.
And Povetkin at some point might be like, do I need this shit? And he might be like, this paycheck's alright. Go on. But like, one thing you were saying about Whyte is the people he's fought. It's so win. I'll always give him respect for this. You compare him even to Fury and AJ and Deontay Wilder. He's probably got the best like list of fighters that he's fought. Like, fuck me.
Definitely in terms of ranking. If you want to just make it purely about rankings, it's got to be Whyte. Yeah, and then you got AJ. AJ's fought a lot of the top 10 as well, because he had to go through mandatories and stuff. But Whyte, top 10, and he done it by choice.
That's he the didn't even have to. He could just sat on his mandatory.
Even when he fought Rivas, and he was up for like 40 fucking 8 hours. Oh, mate,
Rivas is the worst one, because no one will fight Rivas, and also no one knows who the fuck Oscar Rivas is. So there's no benefit of being it. Like, there's not like people gonna tune in though, because no one knows who he is. But he's so good. And no one wants to fight him, but Whyte went, I'll fight him. That's why you got to rate him. And he always says, it's like the difference between this era of heavyweights and the other eras is they all fought each other. And you can't not say that about Whyte. He will just fight anyone.
And just keep going.
Like, the fact that he even fought, he fought Povetkin, he didn't need to do that. So,
and he done it purely because he wanted to fight in the meantime. That was the only reason he did it. He done it purely because he just wanted to fill the gap because he wants to fight. And the one thing I think you got to rate that man. To be fair, it might be a hindrance on him there. Might be a hindrance, especially as he's getting he seems to be becoming more influential in the boxing world, where he's kind of bringing fighters through.
You got a few fighters.
Yeah, you got Babbage, you got Wardley, you got Congo, you got and there's an unending list of fighters that he seems to pick on every week. So I suppose, to be fair, I'm a bit worried about it now because maybe Whyte feels like he's got to keep winning because Whyte's the pay-per-view, so Whyte's got a headline to bring these fighters through. Even if you think about tomorrow night, what 3 of those fights are his fighters?
Yeah.
So maybe that's a bit of a pressure on him, but I just think Whyte's I just think he's a man. Do you so if he does win, which he will, he fucking will. Right, if he does win, what do you reckon about Fury Joshua? Do you reckon he does get the winner or?
No, I think what will happen is obviously Fury Joshua are going to fight this year, and it's undisputed, so all the belts on the line. So once that first fight's done, they're going to have to give up some of the titles when they do the rematch because they're going to have mandatories, and then hopefully Whyte will get a shot at the vacant title. That's what I'm hoping. Or
that makes sense.
What I'll hope for more, it'll be even better if it is for a vacant title. If we do Dillian Whyte versus Deontay Wilder.
That'd be
That's the fight.
That'd be brilliant.
If Fury and Joshua are tied up, that is the fight.
And that is a well dangerous fight, I think, either way, because obviously Wilder stops everyone.
You're gonna hate this, but I think Wilder beats Whyte.
Mate, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Mate,
look at what Fury
Whyte
did.
Gets hit too much, man.
Look at what Fury. But if you think about what Fury did to Wilder, and I'm not saying that Fury and Whyte are the same fighter because they're not, and obviously they've got a lot of different attributes, and obviously Fury, I think, admittedly Fury's on another level to even AJ. I think he's the best in the heavyweight division by far.
Yeah.
But Whyte was the one that said, fucking 2 years ago at the start of that 1,000-day wait, Whyte told the world how to beat Wilder.
No, but what?
So Whyte was the one that said it.
No, I'm going to say is Whyte was like, you got to push him, walk him down. Fury didn't do that. Fury, and do you think Whyte is knowledgeable enough and skillful enough to push him down, but educate smartly push him down, where he keeps distance, then not enough distance? Because I think Whyte would be like, alright, I need to push Wilder, push him back, and he'll just walk into a punch. Where Fury wouldn't let himself walk into a punch because he was like stepping in slowly, knowing the range, and then when Wilder would flinch, he'd step out. I think Whyte would just keep walking forward and walk into one. Same. There's nothing against Whyte. I think Joshua would do the same as well. Joshua would walk into that right hand. That's what. And
Joshua
I'm a Whyte fan.
In straight lines though.
I'm a Whyte fan, and I would love to say, but that's what I think. That's what I think the dangerous thing is going to be about Wilder now. Everyone's going to look at that Fury fight and think, oh, just push him back. But Fury didn't just push him back. He very he uses education of boxing to smartly just edge him back and then be on his toes whenever just to flinch away. Where I think they would think, oh, you just got to overpower him, and then boom.
You got to think about the second fight though. The second fight, Fury dominated the middle of the ring, which is what I think Whyte would do. I don't think Whyte would give him the point where he got the leverage, because Wilder needs leverage, so he needs that opportunity to step back and then explode. So I don't think Whyte would give him that possibility. But could Whyte do that for fucking 3, 4, 12 rounds? I don't know.
But the thing is with Fury compared to them two with Wilder, Fury can stand in the middle of the ring and dominate it because he knows he can judge the distance and get away. Where will they be confident enough to stand in there, or they might be stupid enough to do that and then get caught. Where Fury can stand there with Wilder in that distance, knowing when he's going to throw and get out of the way. Where if they had that mentality, they'd stand there and get caught. Or once they're in there, if they felt one on the glove, would they then have the confidence to be like, can I get away from this?
No, they're quick enough to get away. That's the thing. But I think Wilder would spark. I think Whyte would spark Wilder.
I'd give Whyte more of a chance to beat Wilder than AJ.
Yeah. Because AJ would be more hesitant.
AJ would be too scared.
And Whyte would. Yeah, I don't think Whyte would take a backward step. I think he'd just shit on him. But I think it'd be like a Chisora fight. I think it'd be like a mauling. He'd just maul him every round. But I think that's the only way.
I'm not saying Wilder is better than Whyte, but I'm just going on percentages, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
he's like,
Wilder, if he lands one, could be done. And Whyte gets hit. So is he gonna? Do you know what I mean? And Wilder's not there to be he doesn't get countered because he just loads up.
Yeah,
and then
he's so far away.
Yeah, and so. Yeah, so it's like if Whyte survives, and that's the thing as well. Like Wilder can knock you out any round, but it's like the only thing is, if say Whyte don't get that, if he does rough him up and then just drain him, and he's fucked. But if I'm going on the idea of percentages, I'm thinking, Wilder. I think that the thing is, if Wilder comes back, and hopefully he does,
random at a minute.
I think he will smash most of these heavyweights up. Just one punch, man. One fucking punch.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the way Fury ended his career, giving him one more go.
Man.
But it's mad though. But yeah, I do think Dillian Whyte wins this fight. I think it's also, I've got to put hands up as well. It's amazing the fact that he managed to get in Gibraltar. I think that's fucking brilliant. That's quality.
People there as well.
Yeah, that's quality. And I think that will benefit Whyte as well, because I think it'll be in front of a crowd, it'll be an actual spectacle rather than being in someone's garden. Yeah. So I think that will work in his favour. I think Povetkin being out of the ring longer and having to go through probably 3 training camps now, if you think about it, because he had COVID. Yeah, so he would have started his second training camp, then had COVID, then had to start another one. So I think that will hinder him more. So yeah, I'm definitely going for the body snatch.
Dillian Whyte, what round?
I reckon, can I say 3?
Yeah?
3, 4 or 5. I'm going body snatcher to spark it.
Cool. We're going group betting. I'm going Dillian Whyte as well. Fingers crossed. 7-9. I think he breaks him down, slows him down. The 40-year-old Povetkin will drain, and then he will take him out.
Happy days.
After this, we'll watch the fight on Saturday, and then we'll be putting a review up. So if touch wood, it don't happen. But if Whyte gets knocked out, we'll be here and owning up that we was wrong. But a review will be coming. But let us know what you think, who you think's going to win, how Whyte gets on with all the other heavyweights. Comment, subscribe. It's Fight Fans Chit Chat. Get on it.
Good night.